What up, guys? TMOKigsB here. Hopefully this works. I'm really hoping that this is angled the right way and I'm doing everything. I'm going to do a deck video just like I did the other video where I kind of explain what's going on while the deck list is at the bottom because this... So, yeah, we'll just go ahead and get on to the deck. The deck list should be in the description below. Sorry if I haven't been, especially to Team Dark on Monarch. I was going to do a video swap with them, so look forward to that. Hopefully that'll still be going on. My desktop actually got a virus. Thanks, Mom. Sent me a file and had a virus in it, and she didn't know, and we couldn't open up our explorers and crap, and it's a giant pain mess. But anyway, long story short, got rid of my desktop, using my laptop now for everything, so things are back online and I should be back going. Anyway, to the deck, since most of you guys don't care about this. This is Miracle Synchro-Fusion 2, the second draft of the deck. So go ahead and get on the deck. The deck is listed on the underbar, main deck, side deck, everything like that, and I'll just go ahead and go into the main concepts. So we'll start out with the heroes. The heroes are the biggest concept of this deck. I wanted to keep, with all the synchro and equistes and all that other stuff going on right now, heroes have kind of been left in the dust. No one's really running anything except Miracle Heroes, and I think that deck sucks. It's glorified anti-meta, so I tried to make a cool deck that could do everything, and this deck pretty much can. It's got everything in it. So we'll get onto the weird text. We'll start off with something that, as you look through the deck, you're like, wow, really? Captain Gold. Now, Captain Gold is cool. I got this idea from whoever the hell topped at Nats with it. You discard it, so it feels the Grateful Pot of Avarice to search Skyscraper. Now, he's good in the fact that I am running Skilled Rain, so he is a 21 beat. And the cool thing about him is he's live regardless. If I draw into Skyscraper and I already have it active, I can summon him, and he's a 2100 light elemental hero. He's an EOS alias, but better if I have Skyscraper out. Plus, he can get over anything 2200 or more. That's great. Skyscraper, on the other hand, if it's in the deck, discard this, get it. And the only bad situation is if you have, Skyscraper's already destroyed or something like that, and you draw into Captain Gold. I mean, he thins the deck, he's a decent hero, and anything that lets Stratos get over a, Stardust is great. So next weird choice, Defender. Defender's really only in here because I can search it with Stratos. He does work with Zero, so that's alright, but he's a 2700 axe. And what's good about that is if you set him, your opponent attacks into it, it's more than likely going to survive because it's 2700. Before, the only thing you get over this really easily was a Goyo. So a lot of monsters can't get over this. And, if they scream, oh my god, they just Scrap Dragon and killed this, and who cares? But you attack this, they flip it, flips, they take damage, and then on my turn, since it's I can summon any other level 4 and go into this guy, and this guy is good. So he makes this guy, and that's pretty much it. His negative effect doesn't really matter. So moving on. Sangan is pretty much obvious. It searches just about everything in the deck. The main reason that I wanted to show it is because when a Squardo comes out, he's going to be that much better, and I just figured I'd let you guys know. So continuing on, to Polymerization. You might think that that's also a weird choice, but Polymerization is always live in my hand. Between these two cards that search it, it's great. King of the Swamp is a water engrave for 0. It discards it, deck thins. That's what this whole deck is about, is deck thinning. Woodsman gets it from either grave or deck, so that's great, if he survives, that is. There we go, if he survives. So it's always had a poly in my hand when I was playing, it was great. So poly just makes extra and synchros and crap like that. Tytannial is also a weird choice for this deck. I am testing this deck with Great Tornado in it. I mean, I don't have it in my extra deck because that's not what I'm playing it with. But I'm trying to get the deck consistent enough to where when Great Tornado comes in, I can throw it in the deck and it works and it's great. And Tytannial just works. I'd rather run the risk of having it dead in my hand, which it is a lot, but I'd rather run the risk of having it dead in my hand than being able to, discard it with Brio or something like that, and then lonefire it out later, and then lonefire out this 2800 with D prisms running everywhere. It's just great, this format. And I'm surprised nobody runs it. I've only got like 2 more cards to talk about, so Gemini Spark, you might be wondering why I'm running 1 Gemini Spark, but with this deck, how much I can search with Stratos, I almost always have an alias in hand between Stratos and Shining and ROTA, so I might as well, I'm testing it. If it works, great. If it doesn't, I'll take it out, but this is almost always the first card I'm going to side out, game 2. So last card in the main deck I want to talk about is Zephyros. Zephyros, you might think, oh, it's the Planet Engine, who cares? Zephyros is broken in this deck for the simple fact that I can Future Fusion, send, if I have a Zephyros engraved, I can go Synchro-Fusion, call Gaia, send random hero and dandelion, get 2 tokens, use Zephyros' effect, bounce Synchro-Fusion. I have a Zephyros now, I took 400 points, whatever. Reactivate this, call Gaia again, dump Glow Bulb, mill for Glow Bulb. There's a free formula, plus I still have a token and Zephyros, plus I get a Gaia in 2 turns maybe. Not only that, but just Zephyros has a lot of good cards that I can bounce. I can bounce Synchro-Fusion, I can bounce either of my decrees, which makes my other 3 traps that I run live. Not only that, but my other 3 traps can also be bounced. Limit reverse to get more cards, call same reason, and skill drain to go off with my own effects if I need to. So it shuts down my own cards. It's why I was considering running oppression in this deck, but I don't think that's consistent enough. So onto the side deck, since the extra deck is pretty much staple in Utopia. We'll go ahead and go on to that. We'll start out with my Consecrated Light. Yeah, it's a Nyan Cat. It's pretty boss. So Consecrated Light is really good because I run 1-for-1. 1-for-1 makes this card good in this deck. I think any deck that runs 1-for-1 that doesn't run a lot of darks should run at least 1 Consecrated Light side deck because it's a great way to get it out and against Gravekeepers. It's wall-tastic. The 2 Wing Blasts, I almost always side these in Game 2. If I've hit a decree, I will side these in Game 2 over the decrees, because anytime anybody sees a decree, they side out almost all their traps Game 2, and then I can take advantage of that and get rid of dead cards in my hand that I might have, and just go off, and it's great. 2 other traps that I run, Aegeus of Gaia and Mirror Wall are also kind of weird steps. Mirror Wall is great because it can be activated in damage step, and the paying 2,000 is not like, it doesn't need to happen. You can always, they attack your stratos with stardust, and you chain Mirror Wall in damage step. Their stardust dies, they're not going to attack with the rest of the monsters because they're going to be halved, and on my next standby phase I'll let this die. This almost always goes in Game 3 because this deck almost always seems to go into time. With all the searching and all that crap that I do, my turns take forever. So anything that helps me at Game 3 in time is great. Same with the Aegeus of Gaia. This is almost always if I'm going to go into time. That's the only time I'm ever going to side this in. If you don't know what it does, gain 3,000 life points, and then if this card is removed from the field, I lose 3,000 life points. So, like, if it's turn 4 and I can't do enough damage, just, activate this, I win. It's just great. It's not like I take any extra points. It's just a current. It could save me from dying. They attack directly with Scribe Dragon. I have 2,800 left. I activate this before they can, attack. I still might live. And then last thing I want to talk about is Prisma. Prisma is a cool side deck choice, which once again I saw from the guy who ran Miracle Heroes. Prisma, you can reveal Chimeratech Fortress, and its name becomes Cyber Dragon, and now you can contact views with Prisma. It's a rotable Cyber Dragon, which is pretty great. So that's it, guys. Comment, rate, let me know what you guys think. Any suggestions are always welcome. I'm always working on fixing this deck. And Parallel World Fusion looks alright, for those who are wondering, but it doesn't work very well in this deck. So thanks, guys. Hit me up. Like I said, if you guys have any suggestions, let me know. Thanks, guys, and peace.